stupid hobbitses. Give us the ring. It's our birthday.
Low-key, I look like Lil Wayne. Good morning, y'all. My name's Jim. That's GYM. And ladies, you can watch me in your Xbox Live on your Xbox Live. Bitch, you better put me in your next top 5. We are back. And I'm here with my co-host. And we them island boys just trying to make it. Yo, you honor me by continuing to rock with your boy. Anybody that knows me knows that I love me some Halloween. That time of year just does something to me. Being able to throw on a costume and to become a celebrity, to become a horror movie villain, whatever it is, to become a Disney villain. I mean, really, every modern Disney character is a Disney villain, if you know what I'm saying. I digress. I had a lot of fun doing the scary TikToks and keeping in with the season. I think we should look at some of these offensive Halloween costumes. But let's see what people are getting offended by, shall we? I mean, because the way I look at it, Halloween is one night a year. One time that you can get dolled up. You can go out on your whole shit. I call it Halloween. I mean, I've been guilty of a little bit of thottery. The sole purpose of Halloween is to be who you're not. It's an amazing kind of thing. There's no other holiday where you can do that. I mean, there's holidays where you can dress up like Santa Claus. There's holidays where you could dress up like the Easter Bunny. There's holidays where you can dress up like Ron Jeremy, you know? There's holidays where you could dress up like the Black Panther. Every time they premiere a sequel, you can do it. Nobody's stopping you. Before I lose my train of thought. So what I'm trying to say is, there should be no reason for anybody to be offended by anything. At the worst, a person picks a costume that's in poor taste of maybe some tragedy that has happened recently or a celebrity who died recently. In cases like that, I'm pretty sure that the person wearing the costume knows that they're being offensive. I'm pretty sure they don't care. So you're complaining to your own tribe. You're preaching to the choir. So the only people that are listening to you are the people that feel the exact same way as you. However, once in a while, something special happens. A creature like myself comes along and I find your videos. And this is what I'm going to do for you. I want to scour YouTube to see what we are considering offensive in 2023. Now, maybe not all of these videos are going to be from this year. That's fine. I want to know what they found offensive in the before time, in the long ago, before the, you know what I'm saying? Before the, you know what I'm talking about? 2019 kind of stuff. Before the, all right, I'm gonna stop doing that. So we are going to be looking at the most offensive Halloween costumes. Let me just give you a shout out. AJ Plus, whatever that is. So AJ Plus, take it away. Surely there's nothing that you can show me that's going to have me in my feelings. I mean, I don't know. Let's find out. Let's find out what my threshold is. Let's find out what your threshold is. Where do you draw the line?
Halloween's around the corner, so expect to see costumes that are clever, topical, or that put a sexy spin on just about any job, insect, or Disney
sexy spin.
But guys, there's a fine line between being creative and being distasteful, and the parties have already started. Let's take a look at this year's most ridiculous, inappropriate Halloween costumes.
This year's most ridiculous, inappropriate costumes.
Ebola may be the biggest news story right now, but it doesn't mean it has to be your costume. I'm talking about the sexy Ebola nurse.
Sexy Ebola nurse.
Because last I checked, ain't nothing sexy about Ebola.
Hey lady, it's me, Jim. Yeah, I have a few questions here. Did you know that Halloween was just a playtime for children and adults? Look, the fact that somebody is getting upset about a costume that is supposed to be a sexy hazmat costume makes them seem really fucking dense. Excuse my language. I'm really trying to cut down on that. It makes you seem really dense because the thing that you had a problem with was the word Ebola being in it. Realistically, they could have said that they were in a hazmat costume based on some video game, The Last of Us or something. Would you have had a problem then? Would you have had a problem with them shielding themselves from the cordyceps virus? Probably not, because you've never heard of it, because you don't play video games, because you're too stuck on the internet all the time being offended. When would you find the time to get on PlayStation? You can't. You are too busy being offended. That's like a 9 to 5. Just going through the internet trying to find something that, oh, no, that makes me feel some type of way. I'd better write a letter. I'd better write an article. I'd better go to Reddit. Y'all take stuff too serious. Ebola. Wow. Yeah, it's real. You know what else is real? A lot of other stuff. Who cares? Do you have Ebola? Because I can see you being offended if you have Ebola right now. If you have Ebola right now, you shouldn't be on YouTube looking at videos. You should be resting. You should be taking your doctor's orders very seriously. You should be taking your medication. Go to sleep. You need your strength. I'm not gonna fight for this costume. I don't care. Quite frankly, it just looks like some cut up trash bags. So you can have it. You can have Ebola. You can have Ebola these nuts.
And it's probably not the most tactful way to pay tribute to all the health workers or victims out there. Plus, if the point of a protective suit is to cover every inch of your skin, I think they missed a few.
Here we go, getting mad about the wrong things. You're trying to make us believe that you see Ebola as this awful thing. Then why wouldn't you want to make fun of that awful thing? Why would you want to make this awful thing a protected class? Yes, it's a virus that kills people. Make fun of that shit. Make fun of AIDS. That shit sucks. We know it does. But talking shit about it doesn't make it stronger. It doesn't make it go out and hurt more people. It doesn't make it off itself. So why are you mad? Get over yourself. And it's probably going to be kind of hard for some of y'all because I've seen what the kind of people look like who get offended by everything. Good Lord.
Here's your reminder that fat phobia is rooted in racism.
So try and get over yourself.
And then there's the Ray Rice costume, bringing blackface and the glorification of domestic violence together in one astoundingly non-PC getup.
Okay, this is just dumb. I'm gonna let it finish playing.
Kids are even wearing it.
I'm sorry if that's your son, but that is an ugly kid.
Wendy Aarons tweeted, "I wish we could use democracy to vote people like the couple who dressed in blackface as Ray Rice and his abused wife out of the country."
Run that back, please. I wish we could use democracy to vote people like the couple who dressed in blackface as Ray Rice and his abused wife out of the country. Of all the terrible things that happen in this country, you want to use democracy to vote these people wearing a costume out of the country? How about all the rapists? How about all those pedos? You don't want to vote them out? You want to leave them here? What about the rapists and the pedos that dress like Ray Rice and his wife? Then they get, okay, I see where your line is. You guys are so goofy.
Let's not forget the complete lack of sensitivity to domestic violence victims. Janae Rice herself denounced the costume, saying, "It's sad that my suffering amuses others."
Of course she denounced it. Why wouldn't she? It's a reminder of one of the worst days in her life. But let's keep it real. That was a public story. So it's not like it's something that happened behind closed doors and nobody ever found out. Homie did that shit in an elevator. An elevator with a camera. So when that shit got out, hey, you're a public figure now. Before that, we didn't know who you were. We didn't know your name. We didn't know Ray Rice was married. We didn't know who Ray Rice was. I didn't. At that point, you're public domain. You're free game. And I like this freeze frame right here. What she's doing is she's showing you what it looks like to hold my dick.
But wait! Having fun at the expense of others' misfortunes doesn't end there this Halloween. Chris Fett wrote, "I'm still waiting on the Darren Wilson Michael Brown costume. You know it's coming." You're right, Chris. Mudshark Molly is already working on hers.
Sure, of course costumes like that are gonna come. It's two of the easiest costumes to do. A police costume, you don't have to do anything specific as long as it just looks like a cop costume. And then somebody just dressed like a stereotypical hood dude. Possibly a hoodie, sagging pants, the hat backwards. People are always gonna reach for the lowest bar. Here's the thing that I want y'all to understand about Halloween costumes, and take it from me, cause like I said, I'm Mr. Halloween, okay? If I was in The Nightmare Before Christmas, I'd have been running shit. Let's put it like that. I'd have been the Chris Brown of that shit. To don't even know what that means. Your average person is going to lean towards the easiest costume to make. So, something that they don't have to go out and buy, something that they can just use whatever clothes are in the house, and whatever's gonna be offensively funny, because that's what's gonna get the laughs at the Halloween party. I mean, great, you come in with full movie quality, what's that stuff called? It's the rubber latex mask. And you can come decked out with the dopest looking, most official quality costume there is. People are gonna love what you look like. They're gonna take pictures with you, sure. But you know who's gonna be remembered? It's the one that came in and made everybody laugh. That's gonna be the hero of the night. Meanwhile, your ass is underneath all that latex, sweating your balls off. You're at the party, standing by the island in the kitchen, holding your beer, with a big ass puddle of sweat at your feet. Sweat that came straight from your balls. From the windows to the walls. And the other guy is over there dressed up like Lil Jon. What? Who do you think is more comfortable right now? People are gonna go for the easy laugh, the thing that's offensive, to some degree of offensive. Nobody's gonna come to a party with a costume that nobody cares for, that's not gonna get somebody's eye, that's not gonna get some kind of reaction. Nobody's gonna do it. I mean, people like you would probably do it. With your armored shoulders, your Knights of the Round Table V-neck. Or maybe you got spikes on your shoulders so that the pigeons don't land. Maybe you got pirate in your blood and you just attract parrots all the time. And you're just sick of it, so you just put spikes right there. I don't know. That's what you gotta love about me. I'm a thinker.
Mudshark Molly is already working on hers. Things I need for my Michael Brown costume. 6 bullet wounds, cigarillos, saggy pants.
I mean, that was just ignorant as shit.
Last year, several Halloween goers dressed up as slain teenager Trayvon Martin and his acquitted killer George Zimmerman. Here's a tip. Don't dress up as murdered teenagers whose deaths sparked racial debates and protests.
I think the whole point was to be offensive. I don't think those people put on those costumes thinking, hey, this isn't gonna spark any outrage. It's just a regular old day for old Gil and his Skittles. Come on, be for real with your eye-poking hazards on your shoulders.
And just stop wearing blackface. It's racist. And if you're still trying to go for a topical costume,
blackface.
avoid the predictable ISIS fighter. Yes, they're scary, but despite the thought that went into this grandpa's ISIS-inspired costume, or your boy Vanilla Isis's getup shown here,
Vanilla Isis.
to make light of people committing heinous acts. The sad thing is, culturally inappropriate costumes are not new. We see them every year, from black-faced Aunt Jemimas to sexy Native Americans to wannabe geishas. You get the idea.
But look, you didn't explain anything. All you said was those things were racist. Show your work. Do they not do that in school no more? Do you not have to show your work? I remember when I went to school, I had to write them problems all the way out. My teacher had to see, how did I get to that number? It ain't no doing it in your head. Back then we didn't have smartphones. We didn't have Chat GPT and all that. We had to figure it out on paper with a pencil, preferably with an eraser. Show your work. Explain to me. In the chat, anybody that can explain it. How is a costume racist? I may not subscribe to the same definition as some of y'all. I certainly don't subscribe to the same definition as, say, this person here. But my definition is being hateful towards a whole group of people, discriminating against that group of people just because of who they are, thinking they are lesser. So how does cloth, possibly a hat, maybe some boots, maybe no shoes at all, how do these things show hate towards another group of people? Even if the person wearing the costume, even if their whole intent was to be offensive, at the most, it would be an offensive costume. It wouldn't be a racist costume. And then by your definition of racism, which I can probably guess, racism is a system of oppression only people that are in power can have because it subjugates the lower classes. How does a costume even do that? You know what? I think I got my point across. Costumes can't be racist. They don't speak. They don't sign laws against you. They don't call you hateful things. The costume doesn't. The person wearing it possibly will. How is it that every time I pause this lady, she's always like this, like she's holding my dick? every time. She's just begging for it. Look at you. You are such a flirt. You know, because sometimes I like to get behind a lady, smell her hair, kiss her neck, put my hands on her shoulder spikes. Anyway, costumes can't be racist. Get over yourself. They should have a scorpion voice say, get over yourself. Toasty! Get over yourself. Toasty! What a place to pause, actually. What's your guy in the background looking up right now? Huh? What are you Googling there, friend? It's very interesting that y'all are talking about blackface right now and your man is back there misspelling words. I know Niger's a country in Africa. Why the hell is he over there looking up Niger? You trying to see if they find this stuff offensive? I can answer that question for you. It's gonna be a resounding no for the African delegation. The black people that y'all have on BuzzFeed might find stuff like this offensive, but guess what? Actual black people, we don't care. We've got enough stuff to deal with. Pretty sure you've heard it before. Costumes to avoid. Don't avoid no costumes. Be one with the costumes. So we are looking at offensive Halloween costumes, the 30 news. Is it offensive? These costumes still exist. Tequila Bendito. Rising Sun Princess. Rising Sun? Native Princess.
It feels like there's something pretty disrespectful about wearing a people group as a costume.
You're not dressing up as a Viking or an ancient Roman. Those people aren't around anymore, and this is still very real to us.
Very interesting that she decided to choose Vikings and ancient Romans. Do you know why that is, class? Do you know what color the Vikings were? Do you know what color the ancient Romans were? That's right, they were white. I don't know what you've been doing these past years. White people, you lost your spot. Now everybody's making fun of you, and it's legal. It's about the only group that you can make fun of in any situation, and it's okay. You can talk shit about white people at a school assembly. You can talk shit about white people in a church. You can talk shit about white people in a box. You can talk shit about white people with a fox. You can talk shit about white people in the rain. You can talk about white people in the train. But you get where I'm going. So, let's talk about this. Nobody's wearing authentic Native American garb. No, they're wearing silly things based off of a movie or some iconic / stereotypical imagining of what that aesthetic would look like. That's all it is. And you're getting up your own ass about shit. Like, is the costume that you're wearing, does it really reflect your tribe? Is that what your tribe wears? Some shit that looks like it was picked up at a costume store? Is that what your tribe is wearing? Because you might actually have a case that you can bring to my court. But right now, you got nothing. All you got is your feelings. Your feefies got hurt. Put your feefies back in the baggie. Put the baggie back in your pocket.
So inaccurate, it almost feels like a joke. Like someone's making fun of me and all of the things that my people fought and died to hold on to.
So she says it feels so inaccurate, it feels like a joke. You mean like a costume? Like a costume would feel inaccurate? Like a costume would feel like a joke? That's rather interesting. Did you know that if you wear a costume that looks like the stereotype of whatever it is that you're dressing as, you have a better chance of people identifying what you're dressed as? That's kind of the thing. See, we all have these images of what certain people or certain things look like. So when we see things that look like that, it reminds us of that thing. And the closer you get to looking like that thing, the better off you are. So we'll take this woman that's on our screen right now. This woman that shaped like a Pepsi bottle, 1 liter. If she took the headband off, she doesn't look like a Native American at all. She just looks like she's going to the party dressed as Fred Flintstone. That's it. Possibly Barney Rubble. But nobody's gonna think that you're an Indian or a Native American or whatever it is that you have to say now, because words are being policed, because we can't say what we mean to say no more. We have to use the King's English now. We all know who the king is. But yeah, this doesn't look like anything. The fact is, you shouldn't get so upset about this costume. Who gives a damn? I don't care if you are Native American. Why are you mad? Guess what? I'm black. If somebody dressed as an African, I don't care. If somebody dressed as an African American, I don't care. All you're doing is complaining about some stuff that's gonna end up becoming this salacious topic. It's gonna get picked up. It's gonna get talked about for a while because how dumb it sounds. Don't think that these channels and these news stations are reporting on this topic because it's so impressive or that it's so imperative to get this message out to the public. No, they pick it because it sounds so silly that they can't believe it actually has any kind of backing. So they're going to report it because now it's a controversial thing. And what makes it controversial? Your side of it. It shouldn't be something that there's even a conversation about. But you got so up your own ass that you forgot to come out for air. And now we're talking about it. If you can hear me up your own ass, come on out. The water's fine.
So if somebody of the people group is telling you that it's wrong, that should be enough for you.
If somebody of the people group is telling you that it's wrong, roger that. The next time you people want to dress like, I don't know, Donald Trump, and a white person says that's offensive to me, then that's it. By your own rules, you have to get rid of that costume. Do you see how dumb it gets? All right, let's keep going. In 2011, students at Ohio University started "We're a culture, not a costume. Not who I am, and this is not okay." We have, I don't know, I thought this was young Edward James Almost. Yeah, this guy is not Latin at all. He's holding up a picture of, I guess, a white guy dressed as a terrorist, and he's upset about it. So I'm assuming that this guy is Middle Eastern. All right, let's get through the rest of these examples because I'm pretty sure they'll have a couple more, and we'll talk about this. Note to self: Middle Eastern kid, terrorist, costume. Now this guy doesn't even look Mexican. So there's a Mexican fella here. He's holding up a picture of a stereotypical Mexican guy with a sombrero, a poncho, the big Cheech Marin mustache, and a zombie donkey. Come on. You can't tell me that donkey's not a zombie. That thing looks diseased. That donkey looks like it's dead ass. You wear the costume for one night, I wear the stigma for life. You got an Asian guy here looking very upset, hitting y'all with the... Remember back in the 90s, especially if you went to a school with black kids, if you looked at somebody like that slight head tilt, that was a fight. There's a couple of things that you could do to start a fight without even saying any words. If you're making eye contact with somebody, you hit them with the fight. You're making eye contact and you hit them with the it's a fight. You make eye contact and you hit them with the it's a fight. Nowadays, you make eye contact with somebody and you hit them with the they're going to come up to you with the phone in your face. They're going to ask you what your name is. They're going to call the police. They're going to tell the cops that you some kind of phobic. They're going to dox you. They're going to put all your information on the internet. They're going to get you fired. They're going to get you kicked out of your church. They're going to get you run out of your city. It's a different breed. I mean, it's not just 2023. It's been happening, gosh, maybe since 2017. 2020 kicked things into maximum overdrive. Remember the movie Maximum Overdrive?
Maximum Overdrive.
That was such a crazy movie. All the vehicles and anything that was mechanical, like everything just turned evil. Let's see, what would turn evil in here if I was in Maximum Overdrive right now? The laptop, that'd turn evil. Start trying to bite me. It says, you wear the costume for one night, I wear the stigma for life. Hey, pal, what are you talking about? These costumes have literally nothing to do with you. None of these costumes are of you. At the most, the costume is based off of a stereotypical or possibly a celebrity of a certain culture. That's not you. Nobody's making a costume of you. You narcissistic simpleton? What are you talking about? You've got no dog in this fight. There's nothing to see here. Just like the cops say when there's some stuff to see here. This doesn't have anything to do with you. Go home. Go home and play your PlayStation 5. Your mom wants you to get into a good doctorate program, so you're probably not allowed to play a lot of video games. You think it's harmless, but you're not the target. You're missing the bigger point. The bigger problem is that the costume just looks dumb. Like, if that was what you were complaining about, you'd have a case. You could bring that case to Jim's court. You'd have a fighting chance. But your only argument is that this sloppily put together costume that vaguely resembles what an Indian caricature looks like in an old Disney cartoon. Like, you got nothing. Tell us what you're really mad about. Them big old hips. Them yams. Damn, she thick. And what Trump say? She's Hey, Anne Frank was a public figure. Granted, her story is very sad. It happened at a very awful period. Then again, a lot of other things happened in awful periods, and nobody seems to give a damn. If somebody was dressed up like the devil, you wouldn't see somebody saying, hey, that's offensive to Christians. But if you offend certain religions, then there's consequences. Do you know what I mean? I think it's a tacky ass costume. I don't think that the problem is that it's of Anne Frank, but she was a public figure. If Anne Frank was still alive, she'd be an influencer, okay? So let's not even say that I'm wrong about that. You better not try and come for me, idiots. Jude Habib says, Jude Habib. Change your name, says totally speechless. Just been shown this ad for Anne Frank costume for Halloween. Anne Frank Center, you might want to have a word. And then you're snitching? What kind of a male are you, Jude Habib? This guy said, he said, yeah, I saw a picture I didn't like. Give me the Anne Frank Center. Okay. Oh, that's not a thing? Is there, hello? Hello? Do you think that whoever's read her diary and has actual information about her, would you say that she ever had dreams or desires of being famous? I mean, she was a young girl. A lot of young girls wanted to be movie stars and singers and, influential people like that. Would you say that Anne Frank would have been one of those people who would have wanted her name to be remembered and to have an impact? Do you think she would have wanted to be famous? Because she's famous now. And costumes like this, they honor her. So what is it that you have a problem with? The fact that it was an actual person that existed? Or is it that the costume references a certain group of people? Which one is it? So what are you going as this Halloween? You know what I'm going as this Halloween? I'm going as your mama. I'm gonna spank your ass like your mama should've. Oh yeah, and remind me, at the end of this, I'm going to let you know some controversial costumes that I feel like we should be seeing this year. I don't know if we will, but I think it'd be pretty cool if we did. Top 10 WTF Were They Thinking Celebrity Halloween Costumes by Watch Mojo.
And today, we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most offensive celebrity Halloween costumes. We'll be looking at celebrities who've made questionable costume choices that shocked or angered people.
You can get away with that.
You can go as whiteface?
Whiteface is completely cool.
Number 10. Jason Aldean as Lil Wayne. Costume choice is on par with the rest of his fellow trick-or-treaters, But Aldean's is particularly offensive to the eyes because of his use of blackface.
I think you should have tried harder because it didn't look like Lil Wayne at all. I think that's the bigger issue. Sorry, I had to pause. I had to do something about my hair. Y'all wouldn't understand. I got long hair and y'all bald-headed.
Number 6, Dwight Howard as a homeless man.
Dwight Howard as a homeless man.
That was one angry slam.
Halloween is meant as a way for us to become someone else for a day. You'd think that people would take this opportunity to dress up as something or someone they aspire to be, like an astronaut or a doctor or Oprah.
Why does it matter who they decide to be for that one day? That's not your decision. That's none of your business.
What business is it of yours?
They can be whoever or whatever it is that they want to be. It's the same with you. If you don't want somebody else dressing like a certain thing, then you just don't dress like it. And when you see them dress like it, you keep your mouth shut, or you can get screamed on with your goofy ass. Look, dress like a homeless person if you want. You know who doesn't care? Homeless people. Do you know why? Because they have other things to worry about. They're either not gonna see you, they're not gonna recognize that it's a costume, or, and here's a big or they're not gonna give a shit because they have actual homeless problems. Okay? So stop being offended on behalf of other people. Let other people feel the way that they're gonna feel about something. You can still do what you wanna do. All we're asking is that you give us that same respect.
What could have possibly driven NBA player Dwight Howard to spend the holiday dressed as a homeless man? Especially since the athlete is involved with a foundation that supports homeless youth.
Hello, I'm Dwight Howard.
Okay, so then that should buy him all the karma credits that he
We're just
needs.
gonna chalk this one up to poor judgment on his part and let it go.
We'll dance for food.
But seriously,
Let's talk more about that sign. Did he do it? Did he dance? Did he get his food? That's what I'm more concerned about. We'll dance for food. That's very specific. What kind of dance are we talking about? Oh, that's the kind of dance we're talking about. How far did y'all have to scrape in that barrel to find this example? There's nothing offensive to be said about any of these things. You can get offended about anything. That's the very interesting thing about taking offense. It's based off of one's own opinion of whatever the topic is. I could be offended by any of this shit, but I choose not to because I have better things to do with my time and with my emotions. I can't sit here being chronically upset about everything that I see. That'd be insane. How much energy are y'all spending doing that? That can't be good for you. Y'all talk about having trauma and shit. Y'all are traumatizing yourselves.
Number 3, Chris Brown as a Taliban member.
Who's offended? The Taliban?
No one expected him to show up to Rihanna's Halloween party dressed as a member of the Taliban. Even harder to believe is that he didn't show up alone. Instead, he brought a whole terrorist cell full of bad taste.
Would you call it a terrorist squad?
If they weren't looking to offend, maybe they just should have gone with a different, safer group costume.
Yeah, y'all would love for them to dress like these goofies. Look at this guy at the top. No, look at this guy on the far left. Number 5. Bro, 5 neat? Was this the original new edition? Sunny days, everybody loves them. Tell me, can you stand the rain? Earlier with the whole Native American thing, the idea is that you're offending the group. So you're offended for the Taliban? Do you know who the Taliban are? Do you know what the Taliban has done? Boy, if you don't... Look, if I see one more stupid... I know I said I wouldn't cuss, but y'all are getting me there. If I see one more stupid fucking example, I'm going to go off. And when I say I'm going to go off, I'm going to take off my belt and I'm going to spank your ass. I'm going to hold your arm up so that you can't cover your butt. And then every time you twist trying to get away from that belt, all you're going to do is fuck up your rotator cuff. And then you're going to grow up with bad shoulders. And you're going to be trying to figure out, damn, why are my shoulders hurting in my 30s? You know what happened? Your mama used to spank your ass. And because she did, you grew up well adjusted. And you can tell who doesn't have bad shoulders. Catch my drift? Y'all be thinking that when I go off on my rants that I'm just going off into another dimension and shit. Boy, I'll pull that shit back, okay? There's always a method to my madness. I'm gonna let it drift out there, but I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna pull it back in. I'm gonna reel it back in every time. Because I got knowledge for you, babies. I want to put y'all up on game. It's unfair that my voice isn't bigger than what it is. Because I got so much to say that y'all need to hear. And there's other people out there saying it, but they ain't me. They ain't got my charisma. They ain't got my cleavage.
Number 2, Julianne Hough as Crazy Eyes.
How do you not know that blackface is offensive?
It is never, under any circumstances, acceptable to wear blackface. This is a rule that someone clearly forgot to mention to Julianne Hough.
I have no idea who Julianne Hough is.
Is the new black character Crazy Eyes.
We have a side-by-side of the character and the offender. Here's my take on blackface. I don't get offended by it, but you don't need it. If you're going to decide to come as a character or a celebrity who happens to be black, what you should be doing is finding out what it is that's iconic about that character, that celebrity. What is it that stands out about that person's look that you can then capitalize on? Because you shouldn't have to darken your skin to look like whoever that celebrity is. Earlier we saw an example of Jason Aldean, I guess is who it was, the opera singer dressed as Lil Wayne. I know he doesn't sing opera, shut up. And he had blackface and all that shit. So let's think about what's iconic about Lil Wayne. What is it about his look that lets you know that it's Lil Wayne? The dreads, sure. The backwards hat, maybe a microphone to show that you're a rapper, maybe some bling, the tattoos, the skater shorts, possibly a skateboard, depending on what era Lil Wayne you going for. Maybe you want to go all the way back to the Hot Boy days. But whatever it is that is iconic about that person, that celebrity or that character, focus on that. It's not you looking black that makes you look like that character. It's all those other things. Take me, for example. I've done comic book characters. I've done video game characters. They've been white. Do I need to do whiteface? Do I need to cover my body in sunscreen? No. I just dress like that character enough so that the average person knows who I'm supposed to be, and I'm good for the day, baby. That's it. You know who I am. I've done the job. Now, in this case, you should have studied this picture a lot more. Let's see, her iconic look is definitely the hair. It looks like you tried it. You tried it, but you should have been able to get away with just doing the hair. Try looking at a picture of the person that you're going as you're dressing up. I don't know, it's a crazy idea. Don't be dumb this Halloween. Don't be a fucking idiot. Dwayne Wade is Justin Timberlake. Bro, you look like Ronald McDonald's uncle, Donald McDonald. This is awful. What picture were you looking at to come like this? What iconic look does Justin Timberlake really have? I always had this thing where if you're black and you're dressed like Justin Timberlake, then you probably look like Usher. And if you're white, you're trying to dress like Usher, you probably look like Justin Timberlake. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. But yeah, this is not it. Dwayne Wade. What is that wig? What are your eyebrows even? Bro, you look like somebody writing their name in the snow, don't it? What I'm saying is it looks like somebody peed on your face. As Cecil the lion. Lions get killed a lot. So it's controversial because the lion had a name? My baloney has a first name. I'm just not good at spelling.
Number 1, Prince Harry as a Nazi.
Prince Harry as a Nazi. Like I said, I don't get offended by shit like that. So if you want to dress like a Nazi, dress like a Nazi. But know that this is going to be how you're perceived. But they asked us a question: which costume do we think is the most offensive? Or which costume do we think is offensive at all? We saw a lot of costumes that are banned, that are offensive, that are hurting people's fifis. So before I go, I would like to give you my list of costumes that I predict are going to be rather popular this year. Also, my pick of costumes that I approve of, that others may not. So, Jim Carrey's top 12 approved costumes for 2023. Candace Owens. Fairly simple. Business suit, straight hair parted down the middle, easy costume, no blackface needed. If you pull it off without having to darken your skin and people can tell who you are, you understood the assignment. At number 11, Sam Brinton. The Biden White House's pick for nuclear energy something. Yeah, he was the diversity hire that got his job because of his social politics, that got busted stealing people's luggage and wearing the clothes. That guy. The one that openly did kinky sex play and pretended that he was a dog. You know, for all those guys out there that get turned on by dogs. Should be fairly easy. Maybe check out some pictures of Matt Damon. You know, get that look down first, and then just put some makeup on it. The number 10 spot, we have Gorlock the Destroyer. Let's see some Gorlocks this year, huh? They came on the scene like a wrecking ball. Pun intended. Gorlock came through and said, you're gonna remember their name. Gorlock demanded to be seen, they demanded to be heard, and they demanded to be fabulous. In the number 9 spot, drag queens. Yes, dress like a drag queen on Halloween. The only people who cannot dress like drag queens on Halloween are actual drag queens. You're not allowed to do it. Not on Halloween. You know why? Because you're a drag queen every other day of the year. So, Halloween, hey, find something else to do. Number 8 spot, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Let's see some little kids dressed up as world-renowned physicist Neil deGrasse Tyson. Just don't forget the clown nose.
Today I feel 80% female. Apparently, the XXXY chromosomes are insufficient.
And in the number 7 spot, any fat liberation influencer. Any of them, take your pick. You have to wear the fat suit. If you're gonna do it, you gotta be committed. Come on, you guys. Let's not do the lazy thing here. Let's go all out. If we're gonna be dressed as actual people, let's put in the effort to look like the actual people. In the number 6 spot, Snow White and Peter Dinklage. Not the original Snow White, not the 1930s Snow White. No. Nobody's talking about that movie anymore. We're talking about the new Snow White. The one with the spice. The one that's been getting all the press.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird. Super weird. So we cast a guy in the movie, right. Andrew Burnap, great dude. It's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
And then Peter Dinklage, a little Cabbage Patch with a full beard and crazy hair. That's it. Just something that you can carry. In the number 5 spot, that one clown, I forget his name, but he's mayor of Chicago. In the number 4 spot, Charleston White. Let's get some little Charleston Whites running around here, huh? Try and do it without blackface. It's a challenge. Can you do it? Good. What's that? Oh, you're going to be Charleston White this year. I thought you were going to be Eugenia Cooney. In the number 3 spot, the Biden White House's press secretary, KGP, Karine Jean something or other. That should be an easy one to pull off. Business suit, little pom-pom wig. You could even interchange it with the Candace Owens costume. Go to a party as Candace Owens, then you put on the goofy Ice Spice wig, and boom. KGP, costume change. And that's putting in effort. In the number 2 spot, the top G himself, Andrew Tate. All you gotta do is shave your head. Or wear a bald cap, whichever one's easier. Just a bald head and some shades. Andrew Tate. Even if you're a fat guy, it doesn't matter. Fat guy, bald head, shades, that's fat Andrew Tate. That's Andrew Wait. That was bad. That was Andrew Steak. That was even dumber. That was Andrew, this is my third plate. These are horrible. And drum roll, in the #1 spot, John Fetterman. Super simple. Bald head with the topless goatee. Or you can opt to do the 2023 John Fetterman that just dropped with the bald chin and the porn stash. Out of nowhere. The ears are a little bit different, but it's still a bald head. But I'm gonna stop it right there. I think we've had enough of me talking about costumes, about Halloween. It's getting me in the mood. I'm getting all boned up for it. I hope y'all had as much fun watching me as I had watching these. I don't want people to take Halloween too seriously because it's not supposed to be taken seriously. It's one night a year that we get to do this. So don't take away people's fun by telling them what they are and what they aren't allowed to do. No part of this is that serious. If you are that offended about some of this stuff, then stay home. Don't open the door for trick-or-treaters. Stay in bed, turn on YouTube, watch my videos, because I'm talking about you. Please like what you see. Like what you hear. Please like these videos. Please subscribe. Leave a comment if you agree with my take. If you disagreed, tell me about it. Tell me about the costume that you thought was offensive. Not only that, enjoy your life. WWGD. What would Jim do? I hope you go to sleep and wake up stronger, smarter, better, and less offended than you were today. I do.